Today we're just going to go through the assignment that was from yesterday's lesson, page 125, 126. And this is all about constant of proportionality. What is the letter that we use for constant of proportionality? K. And so the K value is, always what we're after here. We want to know what K equals. And we learned some rules yesterday. What was rule 1?
Money on top.
Money goes on top. What was rule 2?
Time on bottom.
Time goes on bottom, and so that's going to help us out. Sometimes we'll say it a little differently as well, what the rule is, but it reflects those two rules anyway. So as we look at this first problem, Sam and Bobby want to know who cycled faster. The table shows the total miles Sam traveled over time. The graph shows the same relationship for Bobby, who cycled faster. Well, they set this up for us for the first one. They give us a table that shows us hours and distance, right? And so then over here, they tell us they've got distance over time, and this is just our K value. That's all they're finding. They're finding the constant of proportionality, and that's going to be the information that we need to know. And that's almost always the information we need to know. So anytime you're doing these proportional relationships and they give you this kind of information, you can just, without even really reading to know what they're asking, finding the K value is a really good idea to start with, okay? But they set this up for us, 20 over 2, and what is 20 over 2?
10.
Okay, that's super simple. The math is really easy in this lesson, which I appreciate. I like it. We're learning some new concepts, and they're keeping the numbers easy for us, which is a nice change from the way they were doing things. Okay, so now, the way the book does this, and we're going to kind of simplify this a little bit. We'll kind of go through this the way the book shows it first, and then we'll talk about how to simplify it, because there really is an easier way, even though this isn't too bad. They want us to choose 2 ordered pairs. What's an ordered pair?
Where the line meets, so 2 and 18.
Yeah, so it's a coordinate on the plane, right? It's a coordinate on the graph. And so an ordered pair would be like right here.
Yep.
That's an ordered pair, and that ordered pair is 2, 18. We always write ordered pairs, by the way, as x, y, right? The x value always goes first, and the y value always goes second. So 218, which we can write, just put right here, 218. And then any other ordered pair that's on the graph.
436.
Riker.
872.
872 would be on the graph. And so 872. Okay. Now the way they want us to do this, and there's nothing wrong with this. In fact, it's a good thing for us to do right now, because we're going to spend a lot of time doing this particular step later. But we're going to simplify it here in a minute. So they want us to use those 2 ordered pairs, those 2 points, and find that run distance and the rise distance. Remember that from the video yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is my run, this distance right here?
6.
It's from here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we set that up as a ratio, 6 goes on bottom. And then the rise, now here, the thing that makes this a little bit trickier, a little bit more difficult, is we have to count by the way the graph is numbered. This way I could count by 1s, because that's how the graph is numbered, right? This is graphed by 1s. But if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't count by 1s. It goes up by 9s. And so 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. So I would put 54 over 6. And what is 54 over 6? 9. And so that is not, now, was that hard? It's some steps to it. They weren't hard steps. They weren't super difficult. It was just several steps that we had to do. There is an easier way. I had an ordered pair right here.
Yeah, just.
Okay, what is 18 over 2? 9, right? What is, the other ordered pair I had was 872. What is 72 over 8? 9. It's the same thing as taking ordered pairs from a table. This is just an ordered pair. This is an ordered pair. So why they do it one way on the table and a different way on the graph, I'm not real sure in the book. Like I said, this is a good skill for us to have, because we're going to need it really, really bad later. But for now, I'm okay if you don't count that rise and run, if you just look at an ordered pair and put the Y over the X. That makes things a little simpler, I think, okay? So anytime we need a K value, if you can do Y over X, you're golden. You with me? Okay, so who cycled faster? Sam. Sam went faster because he went 10 miles an hour and Bobby was only going 9 miles an hour. All right. Any questions on that first one? Okay, that one was pretty straightforward, I think. So let's move the page a little bit. Okay, number 7. Model with math. The equation y equals 15x can be used to determine the amount of money y Polly's Pizzeria makes by selling x pizzas. Did we talk about that equation yesterday? An equation that uses the letter k. Did we talk about y equals kx?
Yes, we did.
I think we did. Okay, so if you have an equation that looks like this, I see a y just like this one has. I see an x just like this one has. Oh my gosh, what is left?
K.
There's a k that's left. And so what is my k value in this equation?
15.
K equals 15. Okay, when you have an equation that looks like this equation, that's a proportional equation. It's got a constant proportionality in it. And so Polly's Pizzeria takes in how much per pizza?
$12.
What? Polly's Pizzeria.
That was Leo's.
$15 per pizza. It's right there in the equation. They tell us the constant proportionality. Super simple. Okay, now for Leo's Pizza, how many ordered pairs do I need? One. Any ordered pair that's on the line. And so I can choose this one right here. Super simple to see. So my ordered pair is 2,24. Where does money go? On top. So K equals 24 over 2, which is 12. Okay, so my K value is 12. So Leo's Pizzeria takes in $12 per pizza. So who makes more money per pizza?
Polly's.
I'm embarrassed to even ask that question. It's so simple. Okay, obviously Polly's Pizza takes in more money per pizza. Did you ever think we'd get back to math this easy after the last part of the unit?
Yeah. No.
All right. This is pretty simple so far, I'm thinking. You ready? Let's look at the next one. Now, the graph shows the amount of savings over time in Eliana's account. Lana, meanwhile, puts $50 each week in her savings account. So if they both begin with 0, who's saving at the greater rate? So Lana, what is her K value?
50.
They just flat out tell us what she's doing. $50 per week. What would her equation be?
K equals 50.
X.
Oh, I mean, K equals 50.
No,
Or 50.
Y equals.
Y equals
50x, yeah.
50x. Look at that. You guys just wrote a linear equation.
Let's go.
Wow.
That's it. All right. Eliana's account. What do I do to find Eliana's K value? What do I
Find the
need?
Two pairs.
I need how many pairs?
One.
I need one ordered pair.
294.
Look at that. There's 2,94.
So money on
Money on top. So K equals.
94. 47.
So K equals 47.
So Y.
What would her equation be?
Y equals 47.
You wrote another linear equation. Okay, and so Lana is putting money away faster than Eliana. Her account is growing faster. Pretty simple?
Yes.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Here we go. Number 9. So, oh my goodness, there's 3 people that we got to look at on this one. Does that make it 3 times harder?
No. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. It's all the same steps. Okay, so Beth, Manuel, and Petra are collecting sponsors for a walkathon. The equation y equals 20x represents the amount of money Beth raises. So what is Beth's K value?
Do what?
What is Beth's K value?
20.
Beth's K value is 20. It's that simple. The table shows Manuel's information. So for Manuel, how do I find his K value?
45 divided by
I need any data point. It doesn't matter which one I use. I'm always going to choose the smaller numbers because they're easier to work with.
Exactly.
Money goes on top, 45 over 3.
15.
His K value is 15. Okay? And then Petra. What is her K value?
15.
Tells us. $15 for each mile. K equals 15. We didn't have to do any math for that one. Okay? So, now, we haven't even read what they're asking us to do, but we went ahead and found all the K values because we're going to need that information to answer the question. So, first of all, it says, in order to compare the proportional relationships, what quantities should you use to find the unit rate? How did we find, and I think Manuel's information here is the easiest way to answer this question. What did we do to find Manuel's information? Huh? Simplified what? What two values did we use? Don't give me numbers, give me words.
The miles walked and the money raised.
Okay, so how did we compare those two numbers? We did what on top?
Money?
Money raised on top divided by what?
Money. Miles walked.
Miles walked. Okay, now, that's how we calculated Manuel's number, right? We didn't have to calculate Beth's number. They just gave us that in the equation. But how did they get that number?
They divided.
They did the exact same thing. They just did it for us. We didn't have to calculate Petra's number. They gave it to us. But how did they calculate Petra's number?
They did the same thing.
They did the same thing. For each one of these relationships, they did the same thing. Money raised divided by miles walked. That's always what we're going to do to get that number. They just did it for us on a couple of them and then gave us that number in a couple of different ways. One they gave us as a verbal statement, one they gave us as an equation. We had to calculate one of them. Oh my goodness. Right? Okay. Now, compare, part B, I wrote all over it, but you can still read it. Compare the amount of money raised per mile by the three people.
So just compare.
2 people raised 15 and 1 raised 20.
Yeah. Beth raised Beth raised $20 per mile. Manuel and Petra raised $15 per mile. That's what the K values tell us, okay? I'll give you a second to get that written down. All right, everybody good? All right, let's do this. Next one. Oops. Oops, too far. You've gone too far. Number 10, higher order thinking. Winston, whose name I love, by the way, Winston compares the heights of two plants to see which plant grows more per day. The table shows the height of plant 1 in centimeters over 5 days. The graph shows the height of plant 2 in centimeters over 10 days. Winston says that plant 1 grows 6 centimeters per day and plant 2 grows 4 centimeters per day. Plant 1 grows more per day. That's kind of the way some of y'all read word problems, and then as soon as you hit that period at the end, oh, Mr. Fish, I need help, I don't understand. Okay, what do we need to do? We need to
Break it
find
down.
what?
Okay.
We need to verify that he knows what he's talking about when he says that, what their K values are. Because what does he say plant one's K value is?
3.
He says the K value for plant one is 6. What does he say the K value for plant two is?
4.
4, okay? We need to verify that he got those right. So this is plant one. What would my calculation be for plant one's K value? What over what?
6 over 2.
Why 2 on the bottom?
Because,
It's a day's time.
It's time. Time goes on bottom, right? So 6 over 2 is 3. He botched it. We already know that he's missed one of them because he said 6 and we said 3. We know ours is right because we know the rules.
Wow.
Okay? Now, plant 2. What do I need from the graph to get a K value for plant 2?
Order pair.
One ordered pair. Give me an ordered pair from the graph.
2 and 4.
2, 4. Okay, and what do I do with those numbers?
Divide.
put them over each other.
Y over X, 4 over 2. All right, and that is 2. So we say that the K value is 2. He said it's 4. We know he botched that one too.
Wow.
Okay, so he got them both wrong. All right, do you agree with Winston? No.
Nada.
He didn't calculate the correct. What does K value stand for, by the way?
Constant.
Constant of proportionality. Isn't it way easier to write? He didn't calculate the correct K value. Whoops. I'd rather do that than write out constant of proportionality. K value, okay? He didn't calculate the correct K value. And actually, that should be K values because he didn't do either one of them right, okay? What did he do wrong? Can we know for sure what he did wrong?
He put time on top.
Mm,
You just,
No.
if he did 2 over 6, that would just be 1/3. So he didn't do that, I don't think.
you just put the second.
He just didn't divide.
He didn't divide. He just took this now, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
He just took the height of the first day. Same thing with this one. He found the first height value that was listed on the graph and he took that one and said, oh, that's how much the plant grows per day. No, he didn't divide. So, it looks like he didn't divide. Which means he did not set up a ratio or a proportion. Okay? All right. Everybody good there? Last one coming up. Assessment practice, yay. Ashton, Alexa, and Clara want to know who types the fastest. The equation y equals 39x models the rate at which Ashton can type. So what is Ashton's K value?
39.
39, tells us right there in the equation. What is, the table shows the relationship between words types and minutes for Alexa. So how do we do Alexa's K value? What do I do with Alexa's table here?
We put minutes on the bottom.
Minutes on the bottom.
And then so you divided, it's 30,
Which ones do, what do I use?
34.
Two.
78. 2 and 78.
78 divided by 2, which is
34.
39.
39.
All right. And then for Clara, how do I calculate her K value? What do I need from the graph?
Just
Two.
one.
one ordered pair. So
Same thing.
the ordered pair is 278. So that would be
39.
same thing there. So 39. So who types fastest?
Oh,
They're tied. They type the same speed.
They'll time.
They'll have to figure out another way to compete because this is going to be frustrating if they're looking for a winner. All right? Guys, is calculating a K value simple or very difficult?
pretty simple.
Simple.
Pretty simple once you see it. Now, if you're not seeing it yet, if you're still struggling with the concepts, I'm not, that's fine. We'll still work on it. We're going to practice. So, for practice, first of all, make sure your names are on these papers. No, wait. Pause. I'll have you turn them in just a second. Once you turn them in, on Easy Bridge, you have an assignment that is the practice, additional practice, that you'll do some more of these, okay? So you're gonna calculate K values, you're gonna answer questions about them. All right, get to it.